Okay, so this is how the gameplay Holmes and Moriarty goes. Now, what I did here was I laid out 3 case cards. 1, 2, 3. And then we have the chart over here where we're laying out victories to hopefully get 3 in a row or to block 3 in a row, depending on your perspective in the game. If you're Moriarty, you want 3 in a row. If you want Holmes, you want to prevent it over 5 rounds. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cards, we're going to shuffle them up. You want to give 7 to each player. So we're going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 2, yoink, go out. Okay, now each player is going to get their cards. Okay, now, for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to put cards down without any strategy. But in a real game, you want to weigh where you're trying to go, what you're trying to achieve, what does the other person have. So let's do this. I'm going to look at my cards. Let's see what I have here. I have a 10, I have a 7, a 12, a 15, a 9, and an 8. Now, probably what I want to do, if I am playing as Holmes, which is what the side of the board says, I will want to kind of get in the middle of the board. So in the middle of the board is a 10, is the 10 placard, the 10 tile. So if I do that, that'll cut off paths for my opponent to get 3 in a row. So I definitely want to win 10. And to win 10, I need to make that 10, because it's the same color, the same suit, I need to pick a real high caliber card. Now this is 15, it only goes up to 16. So most likely I'm going to win that. The higher your card, the more likely your chances of winning. All right, now let's look at Moriarty's cards. Okay, oh man, sweet. So who has the 16? If I was him, I would totally want to get on the board with a 16. Got to take a victory where you can. Now, the thing is, whereas Holmes wins with his clue, so he'd get the benefit of the clue, Moriarty gets the benefit of whatever he puts down as a crime. So there's really 2 rows. There's the crime row and the clue row, okay? So he's going to put down a 16 here. And he is probably going to have the trump suit, which means a 1 should do. So he's going to put 1 as his clue. Once you do that, you're going to switch hands. This goes over to Holmes. This is going to go over to Moriarty. Holmes is going to look at his cards. All right. Well, let's see here. I got to take a victory where I can. If I play a 14, that will win, but it puts me in a 2. 2 is in the side of the board. I really want to be in the center. Which probably means I want a 6, because a 6 is in the center again. So I'm going to put down 14. It's a pretty high card. I'm putting that down to take it away from my opponent in the future. Hopefully I can win with a 6 in the back. I'm done with my turn. Back to Moriarty. Alright, let's see what we got here. We got a 12. 12, that'll be good. If I get 12, well, now the interesting thing was for Moriarty, I already put a 16 down, which is right here. If I put down a 12 and I win, that would put me right next to it. That's a possibility of having 2 victories in a row. I'm totally going to go for that, because that also gives me the trump card, which means I might win. I'm going to switch hands. Now this is Holmes' deck. It's really kind of a motley assortment. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with a high card because I can. That's out of the game. All right, now it's going to go back to, this will become Moriarty's hand. 13, do I want a 13? No, but look at this, a 4. 4 is in the corner. I'm going to go for victory with a 4. Let's see what we finally get. Okay, discarded. Now we unveil. Okay, case 1, 15. And that is versus Moriarty, who has a 16. Well, what that means is the green deck, the white hall, will be the trump card, should anyone have that. Turns over, turns out Holmes has the 10, not the trump card. Let's see here. He has a 1. So actually, that totally did not benefit him, and it turns out that Holmes wins this. So he gets a 10 here. So because I don't have the tokens, this is like a super ultra prototype. I'm going to put down a card here in its place. I'm going to put a penny down for Holmes. So this is going to go right there. Let's turn over case number 2. 14 versus a 12. Okay, so 14's higher. This is going to be the trump suit. It is a Charing Cross. Let's see what the cards are. These are the clue cards. We have a 6, so that doesn't really help us. 6 is whatever. If we go over here, see what we get without destroying the card. We get a 7, so the 7 wins. Okay, so the 7 wins. That is on the Moriarty side, which means he gets to place a token where the crime was committed. The crime is a 12, so that goes there. Okay, he's on the board. It's interesting when we get down here. If Moriarty wins the second one, he actually gets a bonus token on the board, a 9, and he has a 13. So he's going to win, probably. Let's see what the clue card is. The clue card is an 8. It doesn't match, doesn't help us. What is this going to be? That is a 4. Wow, so that really didn't benefit anyone. He wins because there is no trump, and he has 8 is higher than 4. He is going to win. Holmes is going to get another token on the board for him. It goes on the number 8 spot. So that's crazy because now that it's here, I've totally cut Moriarty from getting 3 in a row that way. He can't get 3 in a row that way. Can't get it that way, can't get it that way. So his only chance would be to get a 7 or 2. So let's pretend we're going to play a second hand now, okay? So I'm going to take these cards. I'm going to shuffle up one more time in my crazy stretching method because, you know, all good board games are played on the floor, which is what I am doing. All right, let's get some cards in here. We're going to shuffle these up. Can I shuffle? Well, it's interesting when you have all this. I love the distressed look on the back of these cards. It's pretty sweet. Okay, let's pretend this is pretty good and shuffled. All right, let's do it again. 7 to each person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's pretend these are going to be Moriarty's cards, and these are mine. Well, now there's a new implication when you get into the second round. When you're in the second round, effectively 10, 12, and 8 in this case are unusable because they're already blocked. You can't use a space that's blocked. You can't win them, rather. You won't have your token put there. Okay, so I'm looking at my hand. I want to go for a victory. If I put down, looks like my highest card is a 10. I'll probably put that down as my clue so I can win. And that'll give me a trump card. The question is, do I want 3 or 5? I'll put down 5 because the highest, at least if I get there, I disrupt a little bit more. What will Moriarty play? Let's find out. Let's take this extra card. He probably has the 16. He does have the 16 again. Can he win the 16 this time? Well, if you put down the 16, he doesn't even have a card to go with it because this is a Tower Bridge card. That's the trump suit. A matching trump suit card would win, but he doesn't have it. So let's put down, well, let's try this. It doesn't really matter. I want to win 16. Okay, so that is his crime. I'm going to put 15 as the clue behind it because at least if I win the clue, that means he'll get the bonus on the back there. And that might free me up in an odd way. I'm going to do that. Okay, so these are his cards. Now they come over here. I am Holmes, who wants to win, not the crime section, but the clue section. I want to get... To me, it seems like a 7 and 2 are really where I want to go to interrupt. But my 14 is my highest card. 8 is not on the board. 11's on the board. 11's really good. That really messed things up. So I'm going to put 14. I'm going to put 11 as my clue. Hands are going to switch. Okay. This is my Moriarty hand. Let's see what we got here. Nothing too impressive. Well, I'll tell you what, there's my 7. Maybe I can win my 7. I'll put a 7 there, and I'll put my 7 clue behind it. Switch hands. This is the hand, because you have to draft cards, you switch it back. 12 and 13, you just got to go for a victory where you can. This gets discarded, and the last card for Holmes is going to be this. 6 and a 4, well, just go for it because you got to do what you can. Okay, so let's see how this panned out and who won what. Okay, so the first card from Holmes is a 10. The first card for Moriarty is a 16. So Whitehall, should by somebody have it, will be the trump. It is not the trump, so 5 is just a lowly 5. And he has a 15. Well, this is pretty awesome, because what happens now is the trump never came out, but now you compare the clue cards, the 15 versus the 5. So the 15 is definitely higher. So that means because the clue won, and because Moriarty scores the crime location, he gets a coin right there. Okay, a token right there to win. Nice. So that means he's up by 1. Let's go to round 2 here. Second case, 14 versus a 7. So this is going to be the trump. It's going to be a Charing Cross again. So this is really high. This is the same suit, and it's an 11. And it looks like his card is a 1. So that's really nothing. That's a bogus. So it looks like Holmes will get something on 11. Totally screwed up Moriarty's plans. That is tragic for Moriarty. Holmes plays a 6. Moriarty plays a 13. That will be trump, the blue suit, the Baker Street. 4. That's really nothing. And let's see what we have here. And the 12 will do it. So, because he won because this was the trump, that wins the clue. He gets the crime location, which is a 13. That goes there. So we have 1, 2, 3. Now, because Moriarty won 2 out of 3, Holmes has to put an extra token on for Moriarty. He probably wants to put in the most useless location possible. That seems to me that would be the most useless location possible. So now what's happening, we're going to play round 3, but when we do round 3, all of these locations are already taken up. So your useful cards get less and less and less, and more pressure to block, to grow your row, and so forth and so on. And that's basically how it's played. You do that until Moriarty has 3 in a row, or if you've gone 5 rounds and Holmes blocked the whole thing up, then Holmes wins. That's it.